In this episode, Heroes of Humility is back live in the studio, the host studio. Heroes of Humility, I use those terms lightly, loosely. What's the right way to say that? This is our 19th shot at this, the 19th episode, entitled Dudfree in the Sun Digesting Pectin. It's self-explanatory. I don't even know if I should say too much about this. There'll be some kernels of truth and help, knowledge, wisdom. How do we take care of ourselves? It gets weird. Enjoy.
Heroes of
Humility, 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 humility. This is not a charade. This is real. These words you are about to hear are coming from real humans on a mission to save the human race from itself. Buckle up while these delusional heroes of humility, aka hoes, attempt to right the wrongs in everyday human behavior. Finally, hoes, aka Heroes of Humility, is back. I'm fixing my chair. I should have done that before we recorded. We're actually back in front of each other, which is really the way Hose was meant to be recorded, because there's a lot more action like that. So the magic you're about to hear is coming straight from the heart and straight from our own pockets, because we have no commercials. We have no sponsors. It's not something that we really are worried about at this point. We're losing money, people. But the important thing is that we're bringing straight, unadulterated human pals and the vocals. I thought we got a new member. Red is with us.
Red is here.
Yeah, Red is here. And my good buddy from a long time ago, back in full effect, 11 Charlie. 11.
What's up?
Yeah, is joining us in the studio, and we are in person. So we can see each other, the way they react, the weird things they do. Both of these guys you'll see in the pics for the show are pushing close to probably 6'5", 6'7". I don't know. How tall are you, 11?
6'3".
Okay, what are you, Red?
I think 6'5", 6'4", something like that.
It's not a contest. I'm 5'10". But the thing is that...
But with the hair, you got the coiffed hair. That's got to push you over 6.
It's the same approach I take to karaoke. It's like, I know I don't have a good voice, so I make up for it with other things. So you guys are taller, but I try to, my hair, it brings a little extra...
The volumization, with the blow dryer, I like it.
Yeah,
it does put you over 6 foot tall.
All right. And you're being sincere. I mean, I can tell.
And he does take this very seriously.
It took us a good, I don't know, maybe 2 hours to get the sound dialed in. Maybe that's a small exaggeration.
And I think we started off in the original place we started in the beginning.
Yeah, it sounds exactly the way it did when we first started. So, but we're all fully dressed.
Hey, I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, I mean, the point is that we're doing this in person, so we have to look presentable. So thanks for being here again with us and tuning in to Hose, aka Heroes of Humility. This is real. I mean, we are real guys, I think. Red's kind of a fake. I mean, 11, tell us, dude, for the people that are hearing you for the first time, what a good guy, man. He served our country. We don't usually talk about some of the things we do for work and all that, but he's retired, so he can kind of discuss a little more maybe than Red and I can.
Yeah, I don't mind. I joined the Army, after 9/11, and did a couple tours overseas and got wounded pretty bad. And then I joined the federal government. I was a Fed for a long time, did a bunch of SWAT stuff. And I guess all those injuries caught up to me, so I got lucky and got to retire a little early.
Yeah, and he's basically got some of the most street cred, and I'm not embarrassed I'm here, but then a lot of my good buddies, because he's been through a lot of stuff, and it's not always easy stuff, so I appreciate talking about it, man. But thank you for your service and
Thanks, bud.
Bringing it. We hope that we know that people appreciate it, but I think sometimes we just get complacent and we forget that there are people willing to run into harm's way or do what they're supposed to do, and because they're told to do it. So yeah, dude, thanks. I know you've seen a lot of stuff, so
Thank you.
Heroes of Humility obviously is here to poke fun at the social awkwardness that we see in everyday life. And in this episode, I felt like we could start by looking at some of the weird stuff I do. I mean, first of all, I got plenty of embarrassing stories. but
A lot.
I can imagine. Yeah.
appreciate you guys chiming in. But it occurred to me, I've got things that I do that even the people closest to me are like, what's happening? Like what? Like in the mornings, this is my routine. I get up. And
we have a time limit on this show, right?
Yeah, I think we're going to try to keep it
this
under
is a
an
show
hour.
about you.
This is a
Let's just be
therapeutic.
real for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's therapy
Brett
for
and
me.
I are just here to laugh.
Yeah, I got
Yeah.
a limited amount of time.
You guys are done, right? All right.
Oh,
Well, thank you for joining us today. Heroes of Humility. That'll wrap up this episode. Look, I mean, this is an episode about the weird stuff that we do. So I just know that I'm probably coming out of the gate pretty strong on this topic. One of the things is in the morning, and this has to do with social interactions because some of this stuff is premeditated. It's so that you are presentable, so that you're healthy, so that you can run or do what you got to do when you get up in front of people and talk. And so, yes, I take care of myself. I take care of my hair, as Red likes to, like a savage, make fun of. But so in the mornings, yeah, every morning I get a grapefruit. I get my lemon juice diluted with a lot of water, straight lemon. And I just go outside, I won't get into the weeds on this, but I take off some duds and I get my vitamin D for about 20 minutes and I peel my
Wait. You kind of
grapefruit.
glazed over a little detail there.
I mean, that's why it's weird. I'm taking one I'm going first. I
Wait,
mean,
so you go get 2 grapefruits, you walk outside holding grapefruits, and
one,
you're
no,
in the
you see,
nude.
You're
in
putting
the
mustard.
nude.
Yeah, you're putting mustard on it. I do one grapefruit, okay?
Okay.
Just one. And then I peel that and I eat part of the peel because there's pectin in the peel.
Do you eat
There's
this
pectin.
while you're naked?
Well, I'm not naked. See, now you're also.
You said you take duds off.
But I
mean-
said some duds. I said some duds. But the point is, I'm dud free.
So, okay, I'm trying to visualize a banana hammock
Mm-hmm.
and you sucking on
I am
juicy
not.
citrus.
Yeah, I didn't say sucking. Can you put that in there?
So the neighbors love you, is what you're saying. Your 2-star
mean,
neighbors love you.
I'm in a more rural part of. I'm near a green belt, so there's nobody hopefully looking. But I have thought, well, gosh, what if somebody was really tenacious and got a good telescope and they were. And I think, you know what? Good for them. I mean, maybe they'll learn something. I don't know. But I get, a little vitamin D but I only do that for about 20 minutes. I eat the grapefruit. I eat some of the peel. It's hard to eat the entire peel, but I eat some of that. And then I eat my grapefruit. I do my lemon juice and I get rid of the toxins early in the day while I'm fasting before I go to my next meal. So my body's ready for all the eagle powers and nutrients I can digest, I don't know what's so funny, honestly. I mean, to me, I'm hoping, I assume people are writing this down, even if they're driving, they've probably pulled
I
over.
forgot my pen.
I'm saying the people listening.
Oh, yeah.
They've
yeah.
probably pulled over. They're, writing some of this down. There's nuggets in here. There's
Oh,
nuggets.
Definitely nuggets, yeah.
Lemon water is actually really good for your kidneys and stuff. It flushes your kidneys.
Oh, Jesus. Now you're
you know what I
stroking
love?
his ego.
It does. It
This
does.
is what I love about 11 is that I'll be talking to him. I mean, I talk to him every day, and it blows my mind the stuff he knows, like that about like a myriad of topics. It blows my, and it's because tell us why you know so much, dude. It's amazing.
I don't know. I just know.
I've never heard him say. He
I know a
doesn't
little about a lot. I think because my dad made me watch Jeopardy with him when I was younger. I just needed to know stuff.
Yeah, and you said every
I
time
wanted to
you
win.
every time you want to learn, you just start reading about
I
stuff.
do.
and
I
you
kind
can't
of get.
stop.
I get zeroed in on a subject that I get interested on, and then I just kind of I get crazy about it.
Yeah,
I
you
wanna
should have seen his
read.
eyes as he was saying it. He's got
I
crazy
do,
eyes.
man. I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, I'm nuts. I will sit there and read every article, medical journal, anything I can get my hands on until I know everything about it, and then that's it.
Yeah.
On to the next one.
It's I've benefited from just some conversations, and like you were telling me, another weird thing I do is I definitely have a healthy dose of coconut oil, and I hadn't thought about this before. I rub it on myself.
Oh,
all right. I put
Still
it
no clothes on?
in my hair. I eat it. It's all over me 24/7.
Oh man, I just picture you with a grapefruit rubbing coconut oil over yourself in the backyard.
I get it.
This
I
is
know you want to
every
picture
day.
that. I mean, I get why people
Getting
want to
that
picture
vitamin D.
that.
It's definitely.
Vitamin D. Well, look, the thing is, you told me, is it necessarily good to be ingesting too much? Because obviously it's got plenty of saturated fats in it, and that's something you got to be careful. But it has so many benefits, so it's hard.
does.
Where do you draw the line? It's like people with a lot of these supplements. they're taking so much. Their body was never intended necessarily to process that kind of stuff. I think my body's reached the level where it's able to, because it's, it's something. It's really something.
Conditioned in cooking oil.
When you're operating at that high of a level, yeah, I get it.
I appreciate you saying that. I mean, but I don't know. Dude, I've got a list of and I started to occur to me, this isn't normal. I don't know. I mean, what is normal? You know?
Exactly. I think everybody kind of has things that they don't admit to, you know?
Yeah. Things that you keep in the dark recesses of your private.
I like to jump in my jacuzzi naked every morning.
That's cool.
Oh, there you go.
Now, what's the temperature of that?
104.
Damn, look at, he knew exactly 104.
Yeah. It wasn't 103 or 105.
No,
it was
it's
104.
It's 104, man. That's as high as it'll go. That's why I know.
Wow. Is that okay to be in the water that hot every day? Or I assume you think it is. He knows.
I don't think it's good to be in there too long because your core temperature rises. Like, you don't want to do that, but
I do not take baths for the reason that I think, and this probably doesn't affect jacuzzis, but it's like I don't want to be sitting in a pool of my own filth and amoebas. You know, I assume even
rinse off afterwards.
Yeah,
a bath is actually good, especially with Epsom salt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Epsom salt. It
helps pull all those. Because when you sweat, all those
Yeah.
toxins in your body, they kind of come out in your sweat pores and all that.
Gotcha. All right, so I think we're recording again. Yeah, sorry guys, that was also an excuse for me to take another number one. I had a bunch of lemon juice and water this morning. I'm still fasting. I haven't gotten to my my late breakfast, which it's oat bran. Oat bran's bit. I know this. Hey, this is the topic for today. It's going to be your turn next. Or,
my
whoever
God.
wants to go.
I don't think we
it's
have
kind of a
enough
free
tape on the machine.
This isn't tape. This isn't the 1979 call. They want their red back. No, this is digital, guys. So it has plenty of space to record this information. I know somebody is going to hear something in here that's going to help them, and that's the important thing to me. Is if we can just reach one person, and maybe just reach out through the podcasting waves and grasp the mind of one individual and mold it into a hoe where they can benefit, from some. But I do oat bran. I let it soak in the water and the. Okay. I know you guys want to hear what I.
Oh yeah, I'm very interested.
I'm looking at the nonverbal cues to make sure this is.
Yeah.
So
can't wait for
this.
this.
Oat bran consists of a ton of ingredients for me, and I start it the night before so it can ferment. So a little bit of water.
All right, a little bit of water. All right.
Yeah, a little bit of coconut milk, a little bit of flax milk, and then you put like about a half a cup of oat bran in there. Now, not oatmeal, because oat bran has more nutritional composition to it because the outer shell of the oat has been removed. And if you eat all that, you get some of the lackluster problems with, grains. Grains can be inflammatory and stuff like that. So you get the oat bran and you let that soak in there and it ferments. I leave it out for like 4 hours. And I play Rocket League with my bro 11 over here. And he has to wait. Sometimes he waits. And we'll get into I do game.
11 has patience of an angel.
Both you guys do. It's really incredible that I have any friends. But I just let that sit there. I put a little bit of iodized salt in there, sea salt. I swish it around and let it sit out. And then I put it in the fridge before I go to bed, usually around 1 after we've done decimating 16-year-old kids on Rocket League.
Oh, man.
And then
we are professionals.
We are pretty good, dude. We've gotten good. We just bought Lamborghinis for that game. It's sweet. Actually, he talked me into it. That's another story. But yeah, anyway, dudes, I've been going on. But let me just finish this oat bran story. So the oat bran in the morning is then ready for providing all the nutrients after I've done the lemon juice cleanse. And that stuff
I put part of the Eagle nutrients.
Yeah,
the Eagle powers.
I think it's the right wording, terminology to describe. So then you put in your macadamia nuts, your cherries, your bananas, your raisins, and you can either just eat it cold right out of the fridge, or you can just heat it up for a few seconds. But when you heat up oatmeal, it releases phthalic acid. I may be saying that wrong, but it's a type of acid that's kind of an anti-nutrient. It's not that great for you. So this is going to save lives.
Okay.
So anyway, I appreciate everybody out there joining us today. Again, this has been a good Heroes of Humility.
Please don't drive off a cliff while you're listening. I know I'm struggling with you as well.
No, that's it. This is look, what do you guys think of this? It's been nice to get back in the studio. This is 11's first chance to join us in the studio. I think it kind of gives us I don't know. Is there too much testosterone in here? Would that be the way to describe this? Maybe not. I don't know. You'll see some pictures. It's another thing I keep to myself. It's a little embarrassing, but I collect stuff.
A tiny bit.
Just a little.
Yeah.
Just a little.
How would you describe it, 11? Because this is your first time in this studio.
Man, I feel like I'm at Disneyland in the Star Wars land.
Yeah.
It is.
I have lasers on right now, folks.
Yeah, we're blind, and I'll need retina surgery after this, but yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, it's worth it for the podcast, man.
I say next time we do re-record in like a stormtrooper outfit.
Yeah, and we will eventually, these do go on YouTube, so I guess we could start actually doing video. No, how that would go, but
we might get sued by Disney.
Yeah, well, I mean, there could be a lot of copyright infringements. I have movie replicas in here. It's just like stuff that I thought when I was a kid, if I saw that in real life, it would be awesome. And so when I got older, I was like, let me get that.
It is legit stuff, that's for sure.
No, it's one of those rooms when you were a kid that you wish all the stuff that you wanted as a kid to be displayed. And Pierce has taken that, and he's able to make a room just for himself. I really am envious of that because
it's cool.
I know my loved ones would not be into it as much, and having little ones, they would be touching things, and that is sacrilegious in this room to just grab stuff and start touching it.
Yeah, I don't think too many kids have touched my stuff, but we won't go into this. Isn't that kind of podcast? No, I don't let kids. I think there has been some little kids that have come here, and this is to them like the wardrobe to Narnia. Like they don't know that this exists. Like that door, they think. I've told them there's a closet. Yeah. But if once you reach a certain level of maturity, like I have, you can start to collect these panty droppers and put them in a room. And, it's just
it's hard. It's a struggle to keep mine on.
It's fun to show your bro. Dude, speaking of toys. Red took us out this morning in one of his toys. Wow. I mean, describe that thing, man. Time. Describe that.
It's a little go fast type of car.
Little go fast type of car.
It's fun. How do you put it? I can't take it out too much because I know my lead foot will get me in trouble, and so. But it's fun. I'll tell you what. When you have something like that, but for me, you have a bad day. There's nothing you can do about it. And that happened to me recently, and I took a little drive. And
it just gets rid of that.
Yeah, you forget it right away, and you have a smile on your face. Yep. And I think it's important.
And you have an erection in your pants.
Whoa.
We can cut that out.
Boy.
Maybe that'll get cut.
He gets straight to the point, doesn't he? We're talking about penny droppers.
He said the word
You guys had one too?
We were sitting in the car, dude, and I've never been in a car with that much torque. I know 11 has, but I haven't. And I was in the back seat, and the tail got loose on you, but we were pulling away, and I could almost feel all 750.
Yeah, it's something 750 horsepower, but I call it dancing. I like to take the traction control off, and because otherwise on the newer vehicles, when the traction control's on, I won't get to bore people too much, but the computer will cut the power off, so it feels like you're getting whiplash, because once the tires spin, the computer will shut the power off to the engine, and then once it stops, it kicks the power back on, so you're sitting there giving yourself whiplash going back and forth between power on, power off. Where you take it off, you let the car dance a little bit in the back end, but if you're on it too much, you can end up sideways in a corner or something like that.
It should be against the law to say cutting the power off in Heroes of Humility podcast, but yeah, it was, dude, there was a lot of power in that thing. I mean, and you had slicks on there.
It sounds amazing. Man,
it's a fun treat. I wish everybody could have something like that. Not necessarily a car, but I'm sure like pilots or somebody that's into like even an electric bike, you get on that and go 50 miles an hour. That starts to make you feel like, I forget about that crappy day at work.
Yeah,
I've got an electric bicycle.
They're pretty sweet.
My
kids
about 32, but it is fun. Yeah, we take the family out. We have helmets where you can talk to each other.
Oh damn,
cool. That's cool.
That's only because my wife got hit by a car once.
Oh wow,
she was all right. I just barely hit her.
Just tapped her.
Everybody,
she laughed. She apologized to the guy for hitting her.
Wow.
I was like,
she should have threw herself on the ground.
I'm all so mad at this guy because it was his fault. He wasn't looking.
All the Charlies have a lot of cred because they've been through a lot of, like real disasters. Like you guys are tough, man. Holy S-balls. Yeah. I mean, like I said, dude, this guy was, can I say this? I mean, he was in. I saw pictures of a Humvee he was in that was blown up, and I mean, anyway, it's just I hate to go into its serious place again, but it's just it's crazy, and it's amazing that if you think about the engineering and stuff that goes into these things and still look like Jello.
Yeah, like it was paper, like it just got shredded,
So anyway, what kind of weird stuff do you do to take care of your bod? Sorry, we got off topic there. That's what we do.
I don't think I do anything weird. Honestly, I really like the cereal Crispix. It's a little rice, corn. That's something my dad
healthy
had
treat.
Been eating since I was young. I like to go out into the jacuzzi in the morning. That kind of gets my body moving since it's so slow moving and creaking.
Yeah.
I don't really do anything else. I think I like to get out and get sun. That's a big deal to me. If I'm like stuck inside, like in an office or in the house all day, I feel like my life is slowly draining out of me. But I get outside in the sun, man, it just feels so good. It feels so good. So especially in the summer, there's a lot of time in the pool, feeling good.
Yeah, the sun. There is something weird about it. I definitely can tell the difference when I've been out there a little bit, and then when I start to smell something burning, I'm like, oh, okay, well, I need to get back in. But I don't put sun. I mean, I probably should put a little sunscreen on. I talked to a doctor, and he says 20 minutes a day is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably should put something on though, right?
Yes, definitely. There's so many people that I know that have had like the melanoma and all that stuff, and you don't want to be like, man, I wish I was wearing sunblock that whole time.
Right.
Just something to.
I'm smothered in coconut oil. Does that help? Or
I don't know if the sunscreen.
That's why you're
stick.
smelling the sizzle.
Maybe that's
the
why I smell
sizzle.
something cooking. I'm like, that smells good. What is that?
Somebody's making jerk chicken in the backyard.
Oh, it's my my dong. It's like okay.
Something sizzling.
Wow, there's another thing I got to cut out of the podcast. Yeah, I don't know. There's some family have reached out and said, "Did you say that?" My mom listens to them sometimes.
Oh yeah, you should probably let her be aware of your routine in the morning, that it's not necessarily G or PG rated.
She's gonna now. I mean, she's gonna get but do you have stuff like that? You do? I don't know if you.
No, I mean, I guess for
the most
part, I guess my routine is my wife says it's weird, but I don't think so. My stomach rules my life. The first thing I do, I wake up, I got to eat something. I'm starving. My wife makes fun of me because she is the opposite. She is not hungry. She takes a while for her stomach to actually want to eat something.
Weird.
Yeah, that's weird to me. But
to me too.
Yeah,
there'll be times if I wake up in the middle of the night and have to do a number one, and if my stomach is sitting there growling, I can't go to sleep. I'll have to go chug some milk or do something, because otherwise my stomach keeps me up. Any event, my wife thinks it's weird because she's like, why do you have to eat right away? And I said, because I'm starving. And then it's funny, this might be a little higher than G rated, but you went through this such detailed thing, and here I had Apple Jacks this morning. It gets things percolating. It gets the morning glory done in the first thing in the morning after my cereal. Plus it helps me wake up. I guess I'm not a pop out of bed and let's conquer the world. I'm like, okay, I can eat some cereal, I'll watch a little bit of news type of thing, and kind of like, oh, it's Tuesday, I gotta do something today. And anyways, you go to morning glory, and then it's shower time. So I start the day crisp and clean, fresh, ready to do something. My wife does a shower first, and I'm like, you're starting backwards, what are you doing? In any event, that's kind of mostly my morning routine. The reason I say it's kind of weird is because my wife and I fight about that.
I think she's weird. I'm sorry, Mrs. Red, because I can eat all. I mean, I never feel like I'm full, is what I meant to say.
I like to eat something in the morning. I could eat anything,
yes,
and a lot of it. But I've kind of trained myself to just have like my little bowl of cereal or something, just kind of satisfy that stomach growl. I will say one thing, and I love this about my wife. She is a morning person, just like I am. Like, we could hop out of bed, boom, 5 a.m. We get ready to go do whatever. If there's anything to do at 5 in the morning.
That's good.
Yeah. Because I'm not a sleep-in person at all.
Because Pierce, for sure, like when we work together, it'd be like 9:30, 10:30. Where is this dude at? He's supposed to come to lunch with us, and he still hasn't even showed up to work yet.
I was just finishing my grapefruit and my oat bran.
He's still naked in the backyard.
Now that I've learned the morning routine, I perfectly understand it. It's hard to sit in a vehicle when you're lathered up and in a banana hammock to get like in the car without slipping out of the seat. So I imagine it does take a while to wipe that down and get on the road and get to work.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to say. It's the honest to God truth. I mean, I do. I spend a lot of time in the morning on stuff, and it did occur to me the other day as I've got a list of topics for the show. They just never stop in my mind. But one of them was like, I do weird stuff. Like I should our show is about social norms. Usually we start at the beginning of the show talking about something embarrassing. This whole segment for me is maybe but honestly, and like 11 said, I don't really get too embarrassed. I mean, it's got to be something really odd for me before I'll get embarrassed. I do unfortunately embarrass some other people. We used to do guilty pleasures. The other problem is I didn't really have a guilty pleasure because I don't feel guilt because I live a life of virtue. So we had to change that.
He embraces it.
Yeah, I had to change that. But I do have a couple of embarrassing things that have happened to me. One of them recently was, it's ridiculous. I sent an email to somebody and they're at, let's just say they're like at the home office, the office that runs everything. I had to get something signed and I said, hey, I need to get this signed and everything. And, it's not one of those things where there's a order of priority, there's a chain of command. And so you're trying to make sure that you just get the thing signed and done. So I'm trying to be, a little bit congenial, amicable, maybe even relatable on the little bit of calm I'm going to have with this person. And probably what they have is an 18-hour day. And so I threw a tiny joke in an email, maybe not the best, choice. And then I said, if you need some more context, feel free to give me a call. And their response was something like, no, thanks. And I was like, all right. So, and you're sitting.
I've been there.
Yeah.
A lot of my jokes will be super dry. And you don't know that it's a joke unless you know me.
Right.
You don't really know that it's a joke.
Yeah.
Or I've had that where it's like you said, email or text where you're like laughing your ass off because you think it's so cool or funny. And the other person doesn't get the tone or the sentiment of the way it related. And
a lot of that gets lost.
They answer you back like with a fake, like a real boring emoji or something. You're kind of like, damn, that's not as funny as I thought it was. Yeah. But so it sucks. Yeah, I get
a lot
that.
of times I think it's helpful and healthy to live in really a state of delusion. And what I mean by that is that I just accept that they probably don't have a good sense of humor. And that's why she said, no, thanks. Oh, great. I said she. Now they're going to. But the thing is that, it was like, excuse me. It said, no, but, it's just that sometimes probably email isn't the best medium on which to convey your hilarity. But like, I thought it was pretty funny for her to say, no, thanks. I mean, I feel sorry for her in a way.
But also at the same time, saying something that makes people uncomfortable is funny to me.
Yeah, that's
like, it won't be funny to anybody else but me, and that's fine with me. I'm okay with that.
You got to accept that going in.
Yes.
That's something you just got to accept.
But if people think I'm weird because of that, then I'm weird.
Yeah, that's why you're here. I mean, to me, that's a straight up HOH trait. It's just easy because that's something we're probably have in common. Actually, I remember, I don't know if we've told the story before, but Red has his... he has his boundaries in that area, but you don't embarrass easy either. We were supposed to be I guess they were filming some reality show and they came by and said, hey, do you want to be, so you wouldn't sign the disclaimer. And you're not, in that sense, you're not afraid to be embarrassed because you were like the one guy that was like, no, I'm not going to sign it. And everybody else is like, we already signed it. And you're just like, so I'm pretty sure they cut us out of that was our one, we were going to be on.
The one moment. And I don't know, like you said, I think we've talked about this before on the show, but it's one of those things where if you're a larger person, sometimes you get singled out just because you stick out more than others. And in the type of work that we do, sometimes you just kind of want to blend in with the background so they don't pick you to do something. And so I don't want the spotlight because it tends to bring other attention maybe you don't want, but I don't know if that's the only way I can explain it sometimes.
Yeah, it is kind of a contradiction because of the car you drive, because that definitely is attention. I'm pretty sure that what was a really interesting feeling to sit in the back of that car today and know that within, I would say, a 30-mile radius in our sector, that we dominated any torque or a traffic situation that we could encounter. Like, I mean, that car moves so fast. It's kind of a feeling of elation. I'm not like an elitist. I like to think I'm in terms of standing out, dude, you're kind of, that's a small contradiction in who Red is.
Well,
you know
what? I take it as this, because I have friends of mine that are really into sports. And I'm a big guy, and I remember in the building that we used to work to, we had a security guard there. You'd walk in, and you have to pass him in order to get to the elevators. I'm not sure if you remember that.
Yeah.
And it was every Monday morning. He was like, "Oh, hey man, did you watch the game?" And I'll tell you, I'm not a football guy. I'm just, my brother is. He's big into football. He can tell you scores about some dude that's passed away a long time ago. I'm just not a football guy. So, you feel bad. Oh no, I missed it. I had a kid's birthday. I couldn't go to it. And so you're able to get away with it that time. So then next Monday comes, "Oh, did you catch the game? There was a great pass," or something like that. No, I didn't, man. I had something come up. I couldn't go. And then the third one comes, and then the fourth one comes. He's like, "Dude, you keep missing all these games." And I said, "I'm sorry, buddy, but I'm just not a football guy. It's not my thing. I'm not into it." And you should have just seen the demeanor of his face. Is just like, I told him the Easter Bunny doesn't exist. You know what I mean?
You're not a part of the club.
Yeah.
And I said, I wasn't trying to be rude. It's just like,
you look like a guy who watches football almost 24/7.
Well, I've even had people, and I'm not trying to brag about anything about my size, but I've had people, I remember at one grocery store, some lady asked me, "Oh, yeah, what team do you play for?" And I said, "I don't know what you're talking about." She's like, "No, come on. I know you're not supposed to say, but you can tell me." And
oh, wow. You should have signed her an autograph and just.
You should have.
No, but I guess it's one thing I don't relate to, but it's, I guess the ultimate point that I was getting to is that I am not very competitive, like sports-wise. To me, it's like if I play ball with my buddies, I get more into the let's just call it shit talking than I do actually like playing the score.
Yeah.
Like playing golf, I'd rather be drinking beers and shooting the BS, and I don't even know what the score is. But the one thing I do get competitive about is kind of when I get behind the wheel, I tend it brings on a different person out of me. So that is, like I said, that's one thing about me that I can tell the listeners that it's a little bit different.
I guess I'm going to have to turbo my Camaro. So I can...
It's a good pressure relief. I'm just like we've talked about Pierce's car. I know it before when you didn't have it. Think about it. When you were frustrated about something happening at work, you couldn't just jump in the Kia and really just make those four cylinders whine. It doesn't
help you escape reality when you're going in a four. Yeah, it's much different.
And now when you have the Trans Am and it's different, it does like
it's true, man. It's true. Like I love driving my Camaro. it just takes you another place.
Yeah,
well, it really, like, the stress in your life and your body is just gone.
Well, I don't know if you guys remember. See, 11 and I definitely sound like car people from when we were children coming up. I know Pierce has kind of turned into one recently over the years, and even I remember during COVID when like everything was shut down, and it was like everything was closed. You couldn't even go to have a sit-down meal if you wanted to. My wife was like, "You got to get out of the house." I'm like, "Yeah, I can't take this being in the house for so long." I take a drive. I just go out, drive around the lake or something like that, because I got to change my environment. Otherwise, I just go stir crazy.
Oh, yeah.
So driving for me is kind of a release, even if it's not going super fast.
Yeah, it's fun too. I mean, you can get crazy with the aftermarket stuff, and you start doing things, and then you want to change something else. I finally reached a point of not diminishing returns, but I thought, well, now I'm starting to feel a little bit bad, about the money I'm spending on. So, but I did reach a point where I think it's good enough. I mean, you were telling me that maybe I could check my exhaust system and make sure there's no molecules of air escaping, or I could also probably look at my tune again. But there's a point where you just kind of have to enjoy it and say, you know what, F it, sorry, Mom. I'm
being in the cars can be a sickness.
Yeah,
it can be a very, very expensive sickness
for sure.
Yeah,
I've been there.
You know a lot. There. You told me you were really into that stuff. And
yes, and then I had to dial it down.
Yeah, family gets in the way of it. Damn groceries and kid shoes.
Those kids, man. Those damn kids.
They get in the way, man. That's too bad. You should maybe see if somebody will help you out with that. Your kids are awesome. Ian, so on our next episode, we'll be talking a little bit about things you can talk about with your bros that you can't talk about with, in other circles. But your son, Liam, he's gotten on with us. That's pretty fun, man. He's a genius, and he actually helped us. I think we're actually doing much better because of some of the things he
He's a whiz kid, and then he taught me how to play Rocket League.
Yeah, that's a perishable skill. I mean, we've got to go on once in a while because we've got to keep up our skills.
We have to.
You know?
No question.
Well, hey, we appreciate people tuning in again. We're going to be doing more of these. We're going to try to get together regular. Unfortunately, and I appreciate you, Red, for driving out this way because I know it's a little ways for you.
Did have to charter a plane to come over this way across town.
How long did it take?
That car's faster than
Yeah,
that plane. Jeez.
it's fun to drive.
I think it did take about 45, 50 minutes. And that was, of course, driving the perfect speed limit.
Those were enjoyable minutes.
Yeah, they were,
Okay.
man. That's sweet.
I don't want to hear any complaints.
And we finally got 11 on the show.
Finally.
And we've got wristbands, though. I mean, a while back we came out with socks, which was genius, right? Because that's such a good advertisement. Nobody sees your socks. So I don't know why I thought that would be good, but that's actually why I thought it was funny. Like people wearing our faces on the sock. So we've got wristbands, and I'm going to hook you guys up. Yeah, eventually we'll probably hook people up with them, if they write in, or they probably check us out on Facebook. You can check us out on the interweb, heroesofhumility.com. Subscribe to the show. We appreciate it. We do this just because we like to make people laugh, and we were hanging out, so we were doing it anyway.
I really appreciate you guys going through Pierce's morning routine and not driving off a cliff if you're still listening.
I think there was a tiny bit of sarcasm in there. But yeah, I appreciate it too. And it's also therapeutic for me. I have got to tell somebody. I mean, I feel like if you keep things to yourself, it could be borderline unhealthy.
True.
Like, and just Mr. Rogers used to say, if you talk about it, it doesn't make it so scary.
Oh, yeah.
And with that, thank you for joining us here at Heroes of Humility. Take care, and we'll talk to you next time. Be kind.